On the 25th of May 2020, I released a video talking about 10 features that I would like to see in the Jedi Fallen Order sequel. We of course know that now as Star Wars Jedi Survivor, but in today's video I thought it would be fun to actually go back to that video and see what things we've now had confirmed, or whether they are likely to actually happen. So the first thing I spoke about was non-linear levels. In Jedi Fallen Order, I felt that levels were incredibly linear, and it meant that there was very little in the way of exploration. I didn't mind that so much in Fallen Order, but I'm hoping that Survivor is much better for exploration. With the fact that we can ride animals, I have no doubt that it will be, and I'm very excited to find out a lot more. With that said, I do expect that the levels will still be somewhat linear, because Jedi Survivor will very much follow the same formula as Jedi Fallen Order. The next thing was urban locations, but more specifically ones that had actual civilians walking around. Based on what we've seen thus far, we will be able to walk around urban environments because we see Cal on what I assume is Coruscant, as well as this village here. Thus far there is no evidence of civilians walking around, and to be fair I don't think most places will have them, but I do think we could see them on Coruscant, which would be really cool. The third thing was side quests. Side quests were something that I felt was mentioned to be in Fallen Order by Stig, the game director, but they actually never came to it. I'm not expecting them to be in Jedi Survivor either honestly, but I do think they would be great to have, and it would be fun to make you explore places to find stuff, or perhaps destroy 10 super battle droids and collect a part from them for some droid enthusiast or something from Coruscant for example. Whilst that would be great, I am actually not expecting them to see them in the game. Next was an upgradable level system. Obviously we had that for Cal and his abilities anyway, but in the video I make reference to upgrading BD1 and his abilities like slicing. I think it would be really cool to be able to upgrade BD, and potentially the blaster and lightsaber to deal more damage or something, but again I'm not really expecting to see this in the game, as cool as I think it would be. The fifth thing on the list was market vendors. Now this is something that would be very dependent on urban locations having civilians, but I thought it would be really cool if we could get credits in the game, which allowed us to go to market vendors and buy new skins, lightsaber parts, etc. I still think this would be really cool, but I very much doubt that they will be in the game, as it's something more for bigger open world titles, like the Ubisoft open world game potentially. We are now halfway through the list though guys, so I just wanted to remind you to all subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, for lots more Jedi Survivor content. So the next thing I wanted to see in Jedi Survivor was blasters, and thankfully that is something that has actually been confirmed already. Initially via the Black Series action figure for Cal, but Stig confirmed in December that blasters will be in the game via one of the lightsaber stances, where it will be used in conjunction with a lightsaber. Seventh on the list was ship combat. Given that this is very much a Jedi focused experience, I think it's safe to say that ship combat of any kind will not be in the game, although I think it would be really cool to see some in cutscenes at the very least. Next is another thing that has seemingly been confirmed, and that is companions. In the last Jedi Survivor trailer that we saw, we met Bode Akuna, and we see him on a mission with Cal in this shot here, and Stig confirmed that he will be there to help with combat and traversing the environment, so he will very much be a companion for part of the game, which I think is very exciting. The penultimate feature on the list was more enemy types. I felt that Jedi Fallen Order had a pretty big emphasis on fighting creatures, and whilst I don't mind that in smaller chunks, I felt it was something that was there all the time, so for Survivor I really wanted to be able to fight more humanoids at the very least. Thankfully that does seem to be the case, as we've already seen a bunch of Imperial enemies both new and old, as well as a ton of Separatist droids, so I am very pleased. I imagine there will still be a fair few animals to fight against, but hopefully it will be a lot less. Finally, I wanted to see multiplayer dueling. Obviously this is a single player game first, but I really would love to have a dueling game mode added. Obviously it's not something that will be in the game at launch, and in all fairness I very much doubt it will be something added later, as it would be a ton of work. It's fair to say that some of my ideas in that video were very ambitious and unrealistic, but it is actually nice to see that some of these ideas weren't too far-fetched either. Jedi Survivor is out pretty soon, and I'm really excited to finally be able to play it after over 3 years of waiting since the first game. Anyway guys, that is it from me today. Make sure you are subscribed and like the video for more. Thank you all very much for watching, and may the Force be with you always.